We need to tax the rich. They make too much money. We just need to tax them more. It's unfair. Am I the only person getting sick of hearing this as every single liberal's talking point? Every time you watch any kind of liberal interview, any kind of liberal debate, they all like to talk about how the rich make too much money and how it's not fair because we're struggling and we work really hard. Shut up, libtard. Shut up. They all like to bring up the talking point, well, Elon Musk is worth $200 billion. What do you need $200 billion for? And I think this is a very fundamental problem with schools. I think it's a big problem in the schools. I think it's a big problem in the media. CNN and all of the liberal media outlets love to tell you that these people have this much money because it's been shown that he's worth this much. The part that they are ignorant to your intelligence about sharing to you is that they're not worth that much money. Elon Musk is worth $200 billion. They're forgetting to mention the fact that that $200 billion is tied up in assets. It's tied up in his shares of his companies. He doesn't own his companies 100%. And if you think he does, you're a fucking retard. Or you're just ignorant because you haven't done your research. And to be bluntly honest with you, if you haven't done the actual research to talk on these topics, you probably shouldn't be allowed to have an opinion. You shouldn't be able to go on CNN News and bitch about how much money the rich make if you don't actually know how it works. To make it simple, let's take Elon Musk. He has $200 billion. Do you think any bank account, any crypto wallet in the fucking world would allow you to have $200 billion in it? No. Explain to me, if he has $200 billion, why is he worth more than the people that own the banks? Jews, by the way. Why is he worth more than people that own the banks? How are they not worth more if they have all of this $200 billion? That $200 billion doesn't exist. Let's just say, let's take Timmy. Timmy's worth $1 billion. He doesn't have $1 billion. He's worth $1 billion. The liberal news will tell you he has $1 billion because they're retarded. But he has $1 billion. He's worth $1 billion. 990 million of that billion is his stock in his company. Now, I shouldn't have to explain to you how stocks work because if you think he has $1 billion, you probably also think that he could just sell it all. Now, if Elon Musk, we're going back to Elon Musk now. If Elon Musk were to try and sell, he might get a percentile of that 200 billion. He'd get a percentile of it. Once he started selling it, the stock would plummet and be worth fucking nothing. Hundreds of billions, bam, gone. Erased from existence because the stock plummeted. But the more important question is, you want to charge the rich people more taxes. Okay. It's a fair idea. I think it's been proven not to work, but it's a fair idea. So what do you suggest the government does with this money? You say, oh, we need socialism, we need this, we need that, we need... It's just a bunch of people saying we need and we want without doing anything. And you know that they're in the position they're in because they do nothing, because they haven't even done the research on any of this. It's why they believe Elon Musk has $200 billion. Do you think the government would be good with billions of dollars a year more? What has the government done with the money that they have made from taxes? What have they done with it? Well, since 2022, the United States has sent over $30 billion to Ukraine. $30.2 billion to be more exact. It's probably already changed since I just said this and posted this. But $30.2 billion. Canada, $19.7 billion. With $12.4 billion of that 19.7 being in direct financial assistance. What does that mean? Where did that money go? We don't fucking know. It wasn't on military aid. Direct financial assistance. So what? You just bought a bunch of coke and strippers with 12.7 billion? 12.4 billion, sorry. We don't know what they did with it. But we can keep giving them money. In fact, Canada printed money to give to them. The money didn't even exist before it was given. Alarming? No, we're helping people. 6.5 billion of that 19.7 being non-lethal military aid. So they're getting demolished by Russia. I have no problems with, by the way. Territory war. They're having problems with Russia, so we're going to help them with 6.5 billion in non-lethal military aid. What even is that? If you want to help them beat the war, you send in troops and you take out the opposition. You don't just, we bought everybody in the military lollipops. We bought all of our soldiers a nice meal and gave them 5-star hotels to take showers in while they're getting fucking blown up by fucking bombs. No, seriously, I would like to know, where did that money go? Is there any kind of reportings on where all that money went? Have you seen it? Do you know what they spent the money on? Do you know who the money even went to? So that shows you how well the government spends their money. Because none of these countries could afford to send this money. Look at inside of the country. Look at the amount of homeless bums and fucking drugs that are just everywhere. In North America, you can't even walk around the fucking streets. If you live in North America, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't live in America, you've seen the news. You've seen everywhere. You've seen all the YouTube videos of the fucking shithole Canada and the United States has turned into. Couldn't have done anything to fix that with that money? No, we had to send it to fucking Ukraine. Even better example. YouTube doesn't like people saying this. Nobody likes anybody saying this. Israel. What has Israel done for North America in the last couple years? Couldn't fucking tell you. Since 2023, Canada has sent close to $3 billion to Israel. For what? What does Israel need the money for? Here you go. You know they're not going to spend it with Canada. What the fuck does Canada have to buy? $3 billion for what? United States, just in 2024 alone, $17.9 billion in military aid. They must have really wanted Gaza, really wanted Palestine, not including any of the emergency funding that was approved to send, not including any of the fucking pancakes and strippers and prostitutes they bought them. No. $17.9 billion just in military aid. That's what they first sent over, 2024. You don't want to know the 2025 stats. You don't. You see what they don't spend the money on. See the potholes everywhere everybody fucking dies in. So that's an accurate representation of what the government spends money on when they have it. They don't spend it on their country. They don't spend it on their people. They ship it away. Why? Who the fuck knows? It's another conversation we can get into. You should do your own research on it before you start getting pissy. So it's already... There's precedent that they don't spend their money on good things. So the rich, their tax dollars, it's not going to go to a good cause even if you tax them more. Second of all, you're seeing mass migrations in Canada and the United States. You're seeing people move from state to state, province to province. And it's not poor people that are moving. Poor people, they always stay. And if they don't stay, they just bounce to a new shithole. The rich are fleeing. Look at when COVID happened. there were, I forget how many hundreds of thousands of people migrated to like Miami and Nevada, California, Texas, blah, 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 blah. New York, the amount of Canadians that mass migrated to the United States when COVID happened. You think they just did it because they wanted to? No. Canada, especially, punishes its higher earners. It punishes the companies that are making all of this money. So what does a company do? Do we pay 50%? Whatever the corporate tax bracket for these companies falls on, do they pay this much? Or do they move a couple hours away and pay this much and make this much more? Obviously, they move and they make this much more. Millionaires, billionaires, they're smart. These companies have teams working for them just to improve on their profits. They're smart. They didn't get there by being fucking stupid and playing by some bullshit retarded rules. They found a way around them. That's why they're at the top. They're smarter than all of us. So do you really think making taxes higher is going to make companies pay more taxes? No. They're going to find a way around it. They're going to find a way to make more, like they always do. They're just going to move down the street. It's been proven to happen. You can look at any migration. You can look at anything. The numbers support it. Look at New York. Look at California. Why are all of these companies moving to Texas, Florida, Nevada? All of these companies are fleeing from states like New York and states like California, and they're migrating away. Taxes? Yep. Workers' rights? Yep. You know how hard it is? Let's say you have a factory. You have a factory in California. No. You have a factory in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. Nobody really knows it because nobody cares about Canada. That place is a fucking shithole, and I live here. You have a factory in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. You have a factory in fucking Bangkok. You have a factory somewhere in Asia that nobody cares about. They can pump out 1 million little bars of soap before Canada can pump out 100,000. Those people don't stop working. In Canada, they have to take a break every fucking 15 minutes. They have a mental health day every week. They have a sick day every week. Any excuse not to work, they take it. That's why foreign companies, not even foreign companies, American companies operating in foreign land can just outproduce any company that's only in North America. They get shit on. That's why they don't fucking exist for long. So do you think, okay, we need to tax the rich. Some of these people say we should tax the rich at 90%. Look at any of these Jubilee things where they have conservatives, or Pat Bet David just did the Jubilee. What did he just do? He just did the capitalism for Jubilee where he debated people for some time. Somebody imposed that there should be an 80 to 90% tax on the rich. Now, another problem with where you fucking retards get taxing the rich wrong is this company makes $1 billion a year. Therefore, the owner makes $1 billion a year? No, the owner takes a salary. So you can't tax the owner on $1 billion because he didn't fucking make $1 billion. He didn't make $1 billion. So let's say he pays himself a nice salary of $3 million. You can only tax that $3 million because that's all he's made. So do you really think taxing, you say all these rich people like they're common. It's called the top 1% for a fucking reason. It's not common. They're anomalies to society. But whatever, you're retarded, you'll believe it. You still believe it because you think that's how you're going to solve the problem. So do you really think taxing a couple million higher? What are you going to do with 10% of, even if someone makes $1 million, they should pay 90% income tax? So they make $100,000? They make a little over $100,000 after all the tax brackets get wham-bammed. You know what I'm saying? Why would they work this hard for $100,000 fucking dollars? Cops get that. You think some of the smartest, hardest working minds in the world should get paid a hair more than an entry salary for an inexperienced Ontario provincial police officer? The employees at these companies would make more money than the fucking owners. There'd be no incentive. So what would they do? They'd leave. They'd take their money. They'd either leave the country, they'd leave the state. Anyways, these companies and these people, the top 1% spends over 50% of all of the taxes. You take all the taxes collected, the top 1%, I believe it's 57%, maybe it's even higher. But whatever it is, it's most of the taxes that are paid by the top 1%. So the whole argument that the rich pay no tax, not true. Do your research. Do your research, little Timmy. And, well, it isn't really little Timmy not doing its research, because these people also don't know what the fuck their gender is. How the fuck would they know about taxes? How could you take any financial advice seriously from anybody who can't decide what their hair color is? They can't decide what their fucking gender is. They can't even define what a man or a woman is. And you're taking political advice from these people? You're real smart. Real smart. We're definitely listening to these people. 90% income tax. If you make 10 million, let's call it you only made $1 million. You don't need that money. What's the incentive? There's no incentive. That's why these super liberal states and provinces, the rich are fleeing. They don't like it. It's not safe for them. If anything, we should make the rich pay no taxes, because they would work harder. They would come to your area. There'd be more stores. There'd be better highways. There'd be better roads. They would do nothing but nonstop innovation and work, and they'd make the country better. When you let the rich play, they fucking play. And they play to win. When you let the rich do their thing, society gets better as a whole. Right? It isn't the government building bridges and paving streets. It's companies that are all in these high tax brackets. It is companies that have all of these stores. It is companies that innovate new technology. You know how far Elon Musk has pushed green energy? He spent, I think, an eighth of the budget to send something to outer space than what NASA could do. Innovation. He revolutionized electric cars. Innovation. If you taxed him to death, he wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be worth it for him to do it. You wouldn't have all of these innovations. You wouldn't. There wouldn't be all these jobs. Are you against jobs? That's pretty much what these lefty testes, the autism, it's pretty much what they're for. They're for taking away jobs. They're for taking away any benefits to working hard. They're for living in a shit city. They're for sending money away. They're not for anything productive to society. That's for fucking sure. So, I think I've ranted on for long enough. If you're for taxing the rich, you're for self-destruction. You're for going nowhere and getting shit on your whole life. You're fucking retarded. You're uneducated. And you're a fag. So fuck you.